I went to Kyoto because my life in Montreal had become too loud. I am Canadian. I grew up in a culture that values confidence and quick thinking. I work in advertising. I talk fast. I move fast. I fill silence because silence feels like failure. If things slow down, I feel exposed. Kyoto did not reward that. The city asked me to soften. It asked me to wait. It asked me to respect what did not rush back at me. That unsettled me. It also pulled me in. I met Maya in a small bookstore near Gion. We reached for the same book. Our fingers touched. I apologized instantly. Habit. She bowed slightly and said it was okay. Her English was careful, precise. She paused before responding. It was not distance. It was intention. I noticed it right away. I asked for recommendations. I expected a polite refusal. She surprised me by answering. We talked about stories, about romance that feels light but honest. I told her Montreal makes me feel like I am always performing. She said Kyoto helps her breathe. The way she said it stayed with me. She took me to a tea house, shoes off, ego off. She showed me how to hold the cup with both hands. I wanted to joke. I did, but quieter than usual. She smiled, small, then real. We walked through a shrine, red gates disappearing into trees. I reached for my phone. She touched my elbow. Before photo, she said. Just look. I did. Something inside me settled. Quiet, present, rare. We found a rhythm. Morning coffee, walking, museums, simple dinners. She showed me omiyage, small gifts chosen with care. I teased her. She said it was respect. I thought about how different that was from my world. We send memes. We send noise. She laughed when I said that. She covered her mouth. That made me want to know her more. On my last evening, we stood by the river. Lanterns reflected on the water. I felt an ache I could not name. It scared me because it was calm and deep. I asked if she would see me again if I came back. Waiting for her answer felt long. She said yes. Back in Montreal, the noise returned. Meetings, deadlines, voices. I told myself Maya was a beautiful moment, a place, a memory. That story did not hold. Every small thing brought her back. A cup, a bookstore, silence. I wanted to write. I stopped myself. I did not want to disrupt her careful life. I did not want to be the loud Canadian again. The urge stayed. One night I realized what I feared. Not rejection, being seen without performance. I wrote slowly. I said I did not want to turn her into a memory. I said I wanted something real. I said I missed her. I sent it and put the phone down like it could bite. When she replied, I read it again and again. She missed me too. She had been careful, just like I had been afraid. We began talking. I learned to slow down. I learned to leave space. I learned that steadiness can speak clearly. Months later, I returned to Kyoto. I brought omiyage because it mattered. I waited outside the bookstore. My heart felt young and exposed. She arrived. She smiled. I thanked her for answering. She thanked me for sending. In that moment, I understood something simple. Love does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it begins with fear, honesty, and one message you almost never send.
I noticed Noah because he did not know how to be quiet, not in a rude way, in a restless way. He came into my city carrying noise from somewhere else. Montreal, he told me later. Advertising, meetings, speed. He spoke quickly, like silence might judge him if he stopped. Kyoto does not reward that. Kyoto asks you to slow your body before your thoughts. It asks you to listen without answering. It asks you to respect what does not rush toward you. I met him in a small bookstore near Gion. We reached for the same book. Our fingers touched. He apologized immediately. Too fast, too loud for the room. I bowed and said it was okay. My English sounded careful, even to me. I always choose words slowly. Not because I am shy, because words should land correctly. I saw him notice that pause. He did not interrupt it. That mattered. Nudge. He asked for book recommendations. I surprised myself by answering. I usually keep my days small and contained. Something about him felt open, even when he was uncomfortable. We talked about stories, about romance that does not need drama to feel real. He told me his life at home feels like a performance, always on, always proving something. I told him Kyoto helps me breathe. When I said it, I realized how true it was. I took him to a tea house, shoes off, voices low. He watched me closely. I showed him how to hold the cup with both hands. He wanted to joke. I could feel it. He did, but softly, like he was trying on a different version of himself. I smiled. At first, just a little, then more. We walked through a shrine. The red gates repeated into the trees. He lifted his phone. I touched his elbow. Before photo, I said. Just look. He did. I saw it happen. Something in him slowed. His face changed, not dramatic, just present. That moment stayed with me. The days found a rhythm. Morning coffee, walking, museums, simple dinners. I showed him homage, small gifts chosen with care. I picked sweets for my coworkers. He teased me for how seriously I took it. It is respect, I told him. He joked about memes and noise. I laughed and covered my mouth. I always do that when I laugh too freely. I noticed he liked that. I liked that he noticed. On his last day, we stood by the river at dusk. Lanterns floated on the water. I felt something tightening in my chest. Not panic, something quieter. He said he wanted to ask me something. I waited. Waiting is normal for me. He asked if I would see him again if he came back. I did not hesitate. Yes. When he left, I told myself it was a gentle meeting, a passing season. That is how life often works here. Then he was gone, and the city returned to its shape. My routine stayed the same, but I noticed small absences. The quiet felt heavier. I wondered if he was already loud again. I thought about writing to him. Then I stopped. I did not want to disturb in his life. I did not want to be a memory that asked for more. Days passed. I still thought of him. When his message came, I was sitting on my floor, tea cooling beside me. I read it slowly. Then again. He wrote with honesty, not noise, not performance. He said he did not want to turn me into a postcard. He said he wanted something real. He said he missed me. I felt my chest loosen. I wrote back carefully. I told him I had been thinking too. I told him I did not want to bother him. I told him I was happy, he wrote. I told him I missed him. When we started talking, I paid attention to how he changed. He learned to slow down. He did not flood me with words. He left space. That space felt safe. We were different. I value consistency, politeness, showing care through steadiness. He values clarity, naming feelings, saying them out loud. Instead of clashing, we adjusted. We met in the middle. We built trust with patience. Months later, he came back to Kyoto. I saw him waiting outside the bookstore. Nervous, still, trying. He brought homage for my coworkers. He remembered. That mattered more than he knew. I bowed slightly. Then I smiled fully. He said hello. I said hello. He thanked me for answering. I stepped closer and thanked him for sending. In that moment, I understood something about love. It does not always arrive with certainty. Sometimes it begins when two careful people choose courage over silence.